on all this, let's bring in Chris Wallace, anchor of Fox News Sunday. Chris, good morning to you. It was really something in that interview to see the president double down on his criticism of John McCain. Even in his death, he is defending that.
Yeah, and let me say, and John did very solid reporting there, but this long predates the revelation that one of the McCain aides had been shopping out the report from the dossier to various groups. I was in a session with the president where he went off on John McCain. It just seems to be something that sticks in his craw, and he does talk about and criticize John McCain on a variety of issues, especially his vote against the Obamacare. And it wasn't a repeal and replace. That's one of the reasons that McCain voted against it. It was called a skinny repeal, which would have kept the issue alive but didn't actually do anything to replace Obamacare. And in any case, the president does have a problem with John McCain, and even in death, as in life, he wants to talk about it.
Meanwhile, the president was also asked in that interview, Chris, about his dream 2020 opponent. Here's what he said.
I'd love to have Biden. I'd love to have Bernie. I'd love to have Beto. I mean, Beto seems to be the one that the press has chosen. When I watch Beto, I say, we could dream about that.
Bernie, Beto, Biden. Biden's not even in the race yet officially.
Yeah, I was going to say again, he's got a B in his bonnet because all those guys have a B in their name. Look, I think the president feels confident. He's not a man who lacks for self-confidence. And I suspect he thinks that he's going to be able to handle anybody in the Democratic field. We're going to have a poll on Sunday. I haven't even seen it yet. It hasn't been given to us, and in which we do a couple of horse races, some of these potential candidates against the president. So we'll see how he does. I mean, at this point, it's just based on kind of name recognition and probably more a referendum on the president than it is a real choice between the Democrats and the president. But, you know, we'll get a chance to see just how he would do at this very early stage against some of the leading contenders on the Democratic field.
Meanwhile, some of those Democratic contenders are not going to be attending the AIPAC conference next week, at which many prominent Democrats will be speaking. Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are on the list to speak. But these Democrats running for president say that they will not go. Kamala Harris is among them. Bernie Sanders says he will not go. Beto O'Rourke has said he will not go, although he doesn't say for any other reasons other than he's busy on the campaign trail. The president responded to this a short time ago en route to Mar-a-Lago, Chris, and here's what he said.
The Democrats have very much proven to be anti-Israel. There's no question about that. And it's a disgrace. I mean, I don't know what's happened to them, but they are totally anti-Israel. Frankly, I think they're anti-Jewish.
What does this say about some of those candidates who are refusing to now go?
Well, let me say, first of all, if you're going to talk about the Democratic Party writ large, as you pointed out, Chuck Schumer, the Democratic leader in the Senate, is going to be there. Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, Steny Hoyer, the House Majority Leader, are all going to be there. So the congressional Democratic leadership will be there and will be making the point about Democratic support for Israel. And also, they're going to talk about some of the comments that were made by Ilhan Omar and the idea that Americans can support Israel and there is no dual loyalty. You can be a good American and still support Israel, which is, of course, our most stable ally in the Middle East. As for the Democratic presidential candidates, there's clearly some pressure on the left, and that seems to where most of the energy in the Democratic Party is now for the presidential campaign, against I don't know if it's against Israel, but it's certainly against Benjamin Netanyahu and his current policies in Israel. The idea of opposing a two-state solution, the annexation of territory in the West Bank and the Golan Heights. So I think that they're feeling under some pressure, and conceivably they could be making a mistake here because traditionally Jewish American voters tend to support Democrats over Republicans by at least a 2-to-1 margin. And to the degree that they give an opening to President Trump, you can be sure he's going to seize it.
Making everything very interesting. Chris Wallace, we will see you this weekend, Fox News Sunday. Thank you.